Help me out. A Jehovah Witness, Baptist, Methodist, Seventh-day Adventist,
Jehovah's Witnesses,
Jehovah Witnesses, after their own thoughts, because they think this way and they think that way.
Right.
Some are atheists, you know.
Yep. Buddhists.
Some are Buddhists. Some are of the Benai faith.
Yeah.
Our people are all messed up, man.
Yeah.
Hinduism, Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Do what thou wilt.
Do what thou as thou wilt. I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people. And how did the Most High do that? He did it through us. We're the ones that's going out there trying to wake you up. But some are appointed to sleep even until the missiles come. And that's another thing, man. The scriptures speak about the end of the world, which the Alpha and Omega ministries don't speak about. They don't deal with the end of the world. They don't deal with prophecies. It says, I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that was not good after their own thoughts. See, back then we used to argue with people for hours. We don't argue no more. If we see that you can't get it, we'll say, excuse me, sir, could you just walk down the street? But I want to stay here as a freak. I said, okay, you can stay here, sir. But you're not going to get it. And a lot of times I said, look, man, this ain't for you. Came straight out and said, this ain't for you, man. It says 3, a people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face. So ultimately, what is the Most High going to do to our people that haven't woken up? He's going to destroy them in a horrific fashion. It says Isaiah 65 verse 3, a people, Israel, that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifice in gardens and burneth incense upon altars of brick, which remain among the graves, meaning among the dead, and lodge in, and they actually used to do that. They used to go out, that's called the Druids. All right, the men of the oak. They used to act, they got that from Israel, man. They used to go out secretly and they used to worship their gods out there. And they used to eat swine flesh and the flesh of mice and rats. They used to do it secretly. Then they come back and then they'll worship. And this is when they knew that they were Israelites. It says, a people that provoke me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifice in gardens and burn. And the reason why they went out there into the woods, because it was secretive, man. And burneth incense upon altars of bricks, which remain among the graves and lodge in the monuments. The modern monuments are these churches, these mosques, which eat swine flesh. And that goes to you Christian denominations, you Baptists, you Methodists, and broths of abominable things is in their vessels, which say, stand, sorry, let me pull it down, which say, stand by thyself, come not near me, for I am holier than thou. That's them holy rollers. They wear all white, them old black women. And the Most High ain't dealing with them at all. All right? Which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou. These are a smoke in my nose, a fire that burneth all the day long. It says, 6th verse, behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silence, but will recompense. I'm going to pay you back. Even recompense unto their bosoms. The Most High going to bring death to these people. Anyway, that's all I'm going to read on that.
This is the book of 2 Kings 17 and 9. And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not good, that were not right against the Lord their power. And they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman unto the fenced cities. And they set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree. Yep, the groves of those churches. Yep. And they did this thing secretly. See, now they're doing it out in the open because they have no clue what that represented. But back then they were going secretly into the woods under groves, and worshiping these idols of the other nations. And that's why when what's his name, Jeroboam set up those idols, the calves, they freely worshipped it because they were already doing it anyway behind closed doors, so to speak. It says, and there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom the Lord carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger. For they served idols whereof the Lord had said unto them, you shall not do this thing. Yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets. But wait a minute, is not Judah an Israelite? So you would tell me that this is talking about two different nations? Like when it says in the scriptures, when it speak in the New Testament, when it speaks about Israelites, it's speaking about the Jews,
Yeah, when it mentions Israel, it's talking about the northern tribes, the northern kingdom. Because you had the kingdom of Israel, the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and you had the northern kingdom, which are the northern tribes.
It says, yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn you from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes according to all the law which I commanded your fathers and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets. Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks like to the neck of their fathers, that did not believe in the Lord their power. And they rejected his statutes and his covenants, and he made with them, with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do like them. And they left all the commandments of the Lord their power, and made them molten images and two calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served Baal. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and use divinations and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. And scriptures like this is the reason why the Jews in Jerusalem did not accept any of those Israelites that were casted out back then. No, and that was that middle wall of partition, where the Lord had to break down to be able to bring them back together.
Yeah, which that's broken down through Yahushua.
That's right.
Because Yahushua came to gather all the 12 tribes.
That's right.
Of Israel.
Yeah, he destroyed that animosity, and that tension that they had with each other.
Yeah, because Yahushua made a statement. He said, "Other sheep I have that are not of this fold." What fold is he talking about?
That's right.
The fold of Judah.
Yeah.
The other sheep were the other tribes. And then we found out that, as of late, because at the main school they didn't teach that. You had a scattering of the tribes still left in Israel, even after the Assyrian captivity. Because the Apostle James wrote, I'm here in James 1:1, James, the servant of the Heavenly Father and of the Lord Yahushua, to the 12 tribes. So he directed his letter to who? The 12 tribes, which are scattered abroad, greeting. Abroad meaning outside of Jerusalem, outside of Jerusalem, which is where predominantly the Jews hang out. Jews being Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Right. So you had a scattering of them, and among them, the northern tribes, that is, some of them were part of the elect of Yahushua's sheep. That the statement that he made, other sheep I have that are not of this fold. So it all goes back to Israel, Mr. White, Mr.
First Maccabee 1:48. that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. And that's going to be it's going to happen now too, you know, with the chip. And that's why they have all this infiltration going on, because they're trying to change the doctrine the way they did under Comfy's regime. It says, in the self same manner and under Bubble-Eyed Blackfish regime. And I'm not going to call you Rakam. I'm going to call you Bubble-Eyed Blackfish, man. You don't merit a Hebrew name. In the self same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land. Verse 53, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor, for help. So those are the ones that wanted to keep the law, that didn't want to break the customs. So they would run and they would hide. But what would happen was these heathens would find them, and then they would fight them like the faggots that they are. You know, they would fight them on the Sabbath day when they knew that they wouldn't defend themselves, so that it'd be an easy slaying. You know, that's why Judas Maccabees, his father, you know, Mattathias and the rest of the Maccabees, they said, look, man, we don't have to fight. You know, we can't just lay down like our brethren did on the Sabbath day. So they will fight whatever day it was, you know.
And Maccabees was a high priest. He wasn't just a priest. He was a high priest. When you go into the history, it says they were Levites, but they were high priests. All right. It says Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 5. It says, as for me, O Father, I call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children. That's talking about Israel, which would not keep my covenant. And that's what we as a people did. And that's why we're in the condition that we're in today. Hence Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. It says 6th verse, that thou bring them to confusion. That's why you're into, some of you are into Islam, some of you are into Kemetic, some of you are into the different church systems, some of you are atheists. You're just all bugged out with all different type of philosophies and ways of life. It says, okay, 6th verse again. It says that thou bring them to confusion. That's why when we speak to Jake out there and we tell them that they're Israelite, they buck up. I'm not an Israelite. The Israelites are done away with. Just like James White of the Alpha and Omega, they said that the Edomites were done away with. Well, do a video showing at what time period and where did that take place, where the Edomites were done away with. I'll be waiting. All right. They ain't. All right. That's why they ain't gonna make a video of it. It says, and their mother, 6th verse again, that thou bring them to confusion. And Jake is in a confused state right now, and their mother to a spoil, that there may be no offspring of them, meaning their offspring is going to be cursed. Let them be scattered. So Israel scattered literally throughout the whole planet Earth. Let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. So a lot of you married among the heathen. So you got Israelites that look like Vietnamese. You got Israelites that look like Edomites. And you got Israelites that are pasty looking Edomites, white people. You got Israelites that are super dark, look like real Africans, man. Look like Sudanese. You got tall, black, Hamitic looking Israelites that you think they're the Hamites, man. But they're Israelites. Israel comes in all shapes and sizes, man, and they look like everybody under the sun. It says 7 again. It says, let them be scattered, and they were scattered. The verse up above that, in the 6th verse, it says, that thou bring them to confusion. They were confused. 7th verse again, let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. That's why you look like